Friends, you have to start with practice set 4.1, example number 6. Tip-top Electronics supplies an AC of 1.5 tons to a company. The cost of the AC supplied is 51,200 with GST. Means this 51,200 includes the taxable value plus GST. The rate of CGST of the AC is 14%. Find the rate of SGST, find the rate of GST, taxable value, total amount of the GST, amount of the CGST and amount of the SGST. Means the total value of the AC is given, total value is 51,200. The rate of CGST is given 14%, and you have to find out the rate of SGST, rate of GST, taxable value, total amount of GST, amount of CGST and amount of SGST. Step by step you have to solve the example. First of all, rate of CGST is given. Rate of CGST of AC is equal to 14%. If rate of CGST is 14%, at that time already we learned that rate of CGST is equal to rate of SGST. Rate of CGST is equal to rate of SGST. Then if rate of CGST is 14% and therefore rate of SGST is equal to also 14%. Then you have to find out the second thing, you have to find out the rate of GST. If you want to find out the rate of GST, at that time rate of GST is equal to rate of CGST plus rate of SGST. Rate of CGST is 14%, rate of SGST is 14%. 14 plus 14 is equal to 28%. In this way you have to find out the rate of GST. Then you have to find out the taxable value. If you want to find out the taxable value, at that time the total value is given. Total value of the AC is 51,200. If the total value of the AC is 51,200, this total value includes the taxable value plus GST. If you want to find out from the total value, if you want to find out the taxable value, at that time you have to consider that the taxable value of the AC be 100. If the rate of GST is 28% of taxable value, then you have to find out the GST. GST is equal to 28% of taxable value. If the taxable value is 100, at that time you have to find out from according to the 28% GST, you have to find out the amount of the GST. At that time amount of the GST is equal to 28% of taxable value. If you will remove the percentage sign, at that time this becomes 28 upon 100 and taxable value is 100. So this 100 is cancelled with this 100. At that time the GST, the amount of GST will come 28 rupees when the taxable value is 100. On taxable value 100, the amount of GST is 28. Then you have to find out the total value of AC. Total value of the AC when taxable value is 100. At that time total value of AC is equal to taxable value plus GST. Taxable value is 100 plus GST is 28 is equal to 128 rupees. Then you have to use the unitary method. What is the unitary method? When total value is 128, at that time taxable value is 100. So you have to say that when total value is 128, at that time taxable value is 100. And when total value is 51,200, at that time you have to say that taxable value is X. Then you have to say that this 128 upon 51200 is equal to 100 upon X. Means ratio of these two quantities is equal to ratio of this quantity. So I will write this as 128 upon 51,200 is equal to 100 upon X. You have to shift the denominator. X is divided by, that becomes multiplied by, and 1200 is divided by, that becomes multiplied by. Shift the denominator. At that time this becomes 128 multiplied by X is equal to 100 multiplied by 51200. If you want to find out value of X, transpose this 128 that side, multiplied by 128 becomes divided by 128. 128 ones are 128. 128 400s are 51200. Then 100 multiplied by 400. 100 multiplied by 400 is equal to 40,000. Therefore taxable value of X, taxable value is equal to X is equal to 40,000. Means if you want to find out from the total value, if you want to find out the taxable value, at that time you have to consider that the taxable value of the AC is 100, the GST is 28%. For the taxable value 100, you have to find out the GST, and for taxable value 100, you have to find out the total value. If total value of the AC is 128, when taxable value is 100, and when total value is 51200, at that time taxable value is X. This ratio is constant, and according to that you have to find out the value of X, and value of X is the taxable value. Friends, after that you have to find out the total amount of GST. Total amount of GST is equal to rate of GST into taxable value. We know the taxable value is 40,000. The rate of GST is 28%. So you have to say that amount of GST is equal to rate of GST into taxable value, 28% multiplied by 40,000. This percentage sign if you will remove, at that time that becomes divided by 100. These two zeros will cancel with these two zeros. 28 multiplied by 400 is equal to 11200. This is the amount of GST. Rate of GST is given in percentage. We will show the rate of rate of GST in percent, but amount of GST will show in rupees. So this way you have to find out the amount of GST. Then you have to find out the amount of CGST and amount of HGST. You know that amount of CGST is equal to amount of GST upon 2, and amount of HGST is equal to amount of GST upon 2. Otherwise you have to find out amount of CGST, and you have to say that amount of CGST is equal to amount of HGST. You have to put the values in the formula. Amount of GST upon 2 is equal to 5600. In the same manner, amount of HGST is equal to amount of GST upon 2 is equal to 11200 upon 2 is equal to 5600. In this way, you have to find out the rate of CGST, rate of GST, taxable value, total amount of GST, then amount of the CGST and amount of the HGST. I think you understand this problem. You have to write this problem properly in the notebook. Thank you.